Captain Nova goes to the surface of the Earth, which is now completely uninhabitable. She immediately hears a warning that the oxygen in her suit is running out and she needs to return to the bunker. In the dungeon, she agrees to a trip into the past, which local scientists offer her. Her AI named ADD goes with Nova. Nova gets into a capsule that is supposed to take her back in time 25 years. To travel in time, the shuttle must fly through a wormhole located in the planet's orbit. Suddenly, the speed increases, and when it reaches the speed of light, Nova realizes that something has gone wrong. In 2025, Nas suddenly sees an unknown aircraft in the forest. He does not understand what it is and stops to look around. A drone flies to him, introducing itself as ADD's navigator and asking for help. Nas carefully approaches the device and sees a girl lying in a spacesuit. ADD asks to take her away from here because there are people nearby and it is dangerous for her. The siren sounds, but the police officers who arrive see an ATV with 2 passengers disappearing into the distance. Nas brings the girl to the old factory and tries to bring her to her senses. At this time, Officer Claire arrives at the crash site. She examines the strange device and realizes that it is more advanced technology than Earthlings have. Nas collects a first aid kit and returns to the factory. At this time, Claire arrives at the guy's place of residence. The owner of his apartment assumes that he may be at the old factory. Meanwhile, Nas reaches the place where he left the girl, but only her spacesuit is on the mattress. She approaches him from behind and threatens him with a strange gun. Nas hands her some napkins and then Nova calms down. At this time, Claire's car drives up to the factory. Meanwhile, the girl looks at her reflection in a puddle in surprise and does not understand why she has become a child again. ADD assumes that there was some kind of malfunction in the machine. Because of this, they miss the landing zone and will have to get to the right place 40 miles. ADD detects the approach of Claire and warns the owner. The detective finds the spacesuit and hears the sound of the engine. Nas and Nova stole her car. The guy asks to explain what is happening. The girl just asks to help her and gives him a lot of money. Claire uses an ATV. She gets to the military base where the flying machine was taken. The scientist reports that they found several identical fingerprints of different sizes. They were left by the same person, but of different ages. The car with Nas and Nova is driving along a country road. The guy's going to use the money to go to America to his father. Suddenly, the car stalls. The couple is picked up by an elderly farmer, Altan, who agrees to help the guys. Altan and Nas try to revive the car. Nova looks around the garden in surprise because she has never seen so many vegetables. At this time, Claire arrives at Nova's house from this time. The girl's parents cannot understand what is going on because their daughter was at home all evening. In the end, the family's taken to the base. Altan fixes the car and the pair are invited to dinner. At this moment, the news comes on TV that Nas is suspected of kidnapping. The pair do not know what to do, but Nova refutes this statement. The owner suddenly calls the boy with him and gives him different clothes. At this time, Claire interrogates Nova from this time. The girl does not understand what is happening. She did not go anywhere, did not see any UFO. Meanwhile, the farmer sees a police car near their house. The couple hides. Altan tries to hide their car, but the police notice him. Nas and Nova run away. The scientist suggests that Nova has an identical clone. At this time, Claire arrives at the farmer's house. Altan lies that he found the car on the side of the road and did not see anyone inside. The soldiers find Nas' jacket. They start combing the cornfield. The soldier finds the couple, but Nova pulls out the gun and shoots him. The soldier freezes in place, and the girl explains that it is a time gun. It just slowed the soldier down for a few hours. The couple gets to the city and finds a building where a presentation of a new project is to take place. Since oil and gas reserves are running out, the company has developed a new drilling method that they want to use at the North Pole. The meeting is interrupted by the appearance of a girl who demands that the project be closed. Otherwise, the entire planet will perish. The project developer Simon ridicules her, but Nova very convincingly explains that everything will not go according to plan. A huge amount of methane will escape into the atmosphere, and global warming will begin. Cities will sink, and fresh water will disappear. But the security chases the girl away from the presentation. She attaches ADD to Simon's car, and they go after him. Nova and Nas go to the seashore. She has not seen so much water for a long time. The boy gets closer, but she admits that she is already 37 years old and she is from the future. Nas is upset when he learns that in 20 years his world will disappear. Meanwhile, Claire learns that the girl tried to disrupt the presentation and goes to Simon's address. ADD meets his friends and takes them to Simon's room. He is amazed that the girl calls him by his first name. She shows him a recording of an elderly Simon who sent her here to prevent a catastrophe. He asks his younger self to cancel the drilling. At this time, the scientist's house is surrounded by the military. Simon picks up the phone to call the police. Nas grabs a time pistol. one of the soldiers loses his nerve. The bullet hits ADD and concusses Nova. Claire orders an ambulance to be called, and Nas runs off to Altan. Nova comes to her senses in the hospital and tells Claire everything. She tries to comprehend everything and comes to a scientist at the base who is studying ADD. He learns that the device was made in 2048. A DD turns on, grabs the time pistol, and flies away from the base. Claire tries to talk to Simon, but he only laughs. Moreover, his father is the one supervising the project and is very determined. At this time, ADD finds Nas on the farm. He tells him where Nova is, asks to help her return to the future, and then switches off. Nas grabs the gun and Altan takes him to the base. The boy's taken inside without a search. He freezes the military, takes the spacesuit, and finds Nova. Claire notices Nas when he runs to the shuttle with Nova on his shoulder. He puts the girl in the pilot's seat and says goodbye to her. She thanks him and takes the gun. The ship rises above the ground and flies into the hole. The capsule with Nova arrives at the place, but the woman is unconscious. She is placed in a chamber where she comes to her senses. Elderly Simon understands that she failed because nothing has changed, but he asks her to go back one more time because this mission has changed something. Suddenly, a boy runs in, calling Nova mom. Then her husband comes, an adult Nas. Later, they go to the surface. Nova announces that she is ready to return again at the moment when she stays with Nas. The shuttle takes off and returns to the same field from which Nas saw her off. Claire gives the boy a gun and does not interfere with their departure to the North Pole. The boy notices the same capsules flying nearby. Nova explains that they will all have enough work. Their ship reaches the place where drilling should take place. Simon's father makes a speech. However, Simon has doubts because the girl could be right. The old man insists on starting when Nas and Nova appear. Nova shoots the old man and he freezes in front of the control panel. With the next shot, the girl jams the drill. Simon apologizes. The guys return to their ship. On TV, there is news about how unidentified flying objects hovered over all the problematic regions where people destroyed nature, slowing down the work. Claire and the scientist watch this, and Altan is repairing the ADD when the ship lands in his yard. Nova says goodbye to her friends and rejoices at the revived ADD. The shuttle takes off, and Claire arrives at Altan's house. She takes the boy and asks him to tell her what they did to her colleagues. Nas admits that people were just freezed for some time. Nova returned to her time. Claire takes him out into the yard and gives him the keys to his ATV. The happy boy gets behind the wheel. A car drives by with little Nova in the back seat. Nas steps on the gas and drives after them.